Welcome to the Haydays 2021 with Smasher, aka Kris Kaltenbacher, in our booth. We are excited to have you on board again with Zbroz. How many years has it been?
I believe we're at number. Man, I think it's 10 or 11. It's 10 or 11. It's been too long. It's been a decade.
That's been a decade. So I know him as Smasher just because I'm new to Zbroz. Been here about a year, so I'm going on one. But I've been introduced to Smasher, both on social and in the flesh. A lot of stories, a lot of expectations. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good ride. Honestly, Zbroz is one of my longest sponsors. I couldn't be more happy. I know everybody says that, but honestly and truthfully, every year I've gained more and more with you guys. The sponsorship, the help, just the knowledge, the things that I've learned about Zbroz, and just the stuff I've learned about suspension. I do break a lot of stuff. It's always nice to know that a sponsor does have my back no matter what. They do put me first, to know when I do break something or I do need something. It's always nice to have someone that's got your back, so that if we are out riding or filming for the next Boondockers movie, that somebody's got my back, And so most of my sponsors, all my sponsors do, and Zbroz has always been there for me, and I appreciate that 100%.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, it's been awesome to work with you guys, at least for me, over the last year. And being able to see what kind of content you've been able to produce. I think you need to go sign something.
Yeah, someone was flashing me here over here.
We just got a peep show.
If he wanted a signature or not.
Oh, that's awesome. But no, in all truthfulness, it's been fun to watch you ride, at least for me. I haven't ridden with you personally yet, but I've heard a lot of stories. So I also heard a story of where Smasher came from. Maybe you could tell that story just briefly where Smasher came from.
So it started off as kind of a joke. We were sitting up in the parking lot in California, and some guy just came up and was just talking, say, hey, man, I totally smashed my suspension. I was totally smashing that hill. Gets on a sled and rides off, and I looked at a buddy. I was like, well, who was that? And he was like, you didn't know him? I was like, no. So then the next weekend we're sitting up there again. He totally comes up and is like, hey, I'm glad to see that you're here and you know how to ride a sled, and you guys look like, cool dudes. And I was like, well, how do you know I can ride? And he was like, oh, I could just tell. And he rides off again. I look at my buddy, the same guy, and I'm like, who was that? And he's like, I don't know. So it became a joke. Like, dude, we're totally smashing. I smashed my suspension, blah, 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 on and so forth. And so I was doing a hit, and I hit a buried stump. I went up and was coming around. When I came down, I hit a stump. Wadded up my sled pretty good. Took it in to the shop. The guys that worked at the shop, one of their moms worked at a decal place, so they put Smasher Smashington on my sled, and it became my nickname. I hooked up with Team Summit, which was another video with Jeff Aiello and Anthony Oberti, Shane Kelly, Jesse O'Rourke. Anyways, they asked me that story. Dan Gardner came to film me. We filmed for Boondockers. He called me up and asked me, what name I wanted in the video. And I told him Kris Kaltenbacher, and he put Smasher in the video. And 17, 18 years later, I'm still Smasher.
Still there.
It's stuck. I've tried to get rid of it, but the newer people in the industry, there's a lot of new people that'll just call me Kris, but everybody from the past, it's just Smasher.
Yep. I remember coming across the contract for the first time, Kris Kaltenbacher, and I was like, who is this guy? Because me being new, I only heard Smasher because that's what Nate and everybody else called you by. So to me, you're Smasher. But in my phone, I now have you as Kris Kaltenbacher. So I do get a little bit confused. Sometimes I might censor your calls because Kris is calling me. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, and I do get that a lot. I mean, I'll call people and be like, hey, this is Kris. I'm with Boondockers. They're like, okay, and what's your association with them, their affiliation? And I'm like, this is Smasher. They're like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm like, oh, here we go.
Reintro every time, Then you got to go down memory lane, revisit that whole experience.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's been a good ride. It really has.
That's awesome. So, Boondockers film coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll have. We're not sure. I'm not sure what they named it yet. I thought it should be Boondockers 18, but I think they're trying to get away from the numbers, and they just want to call it Boondockers. But yeah, Nick Reedy is the new producer of it, and it should. And I'm looking at my watch. It'll be out. There we go. It'll be out probably in the next week or two. We'll have it at the Denver show and the Salt Lake show in DVD form and also on iTunes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super stoked. It's a new word. Dude, let's just use that now. Stoked.
It's like Smasher.
Excited and stoked at the same time.
They got Smash Burger. They got Smash Beer. They got some other stuff, and now you have it stoked.
I think I got some new stickers coming out on all the sleds. Oh, no, I'm stoked for the new film. I'm excited to watch it. It's been a lot more personal being able to be, involved on the back end with it, with the Zbroz side, knowing all the riders. So that being said, what are your plans for this upcoming season? What are you riding? Where are you going? Expectations, all the above.
This year I'll be riding a new Matrix Slash 155 with the SLP twins, the Zbroz front end, Zbroz shocks, Arctic FX wrap, Ice Age rails and wheels, 2 cool air vents, and of course built and tuned by Mr. Eric Volk himself. And then my expectations and my plans for this year is not to get hurt, talk a lot of trash to Dan and Fatty, and probably try to hold the top dog title, because I do have the top dog title, and that's kind of what I'm going for. We're going to see how that holds up. I seem to be getting a little bit older, so I've been with Zbroz, 10 or 11 years. So I started at 15. I'm 25, 26 now, coming into my prime. Dan's 37. So I'm looking to really catch my stride now and kind of roll with that. But that's the plan.
Right on. Well, we're here for it. So again, excited to have you on board. Glad to see you here, and excited to see what happens this season. So thank you.
Absolutely, and if you're looking for a good product, you need to get out here and get yourself some Zbroz shocks and some a front bumper. They got a new rear bumper that's coming out, and the A-arms. You can't go wrong with their A-arms. Better than stock. The billet top chromely. The billet uppers is the way to go. I think they just last. They just absolutely 100% last. If you do break one, they're quick and easy to get a hold of and get a replacement. You don't have to wait. Spindles, I love the spindles. I've been running the spindles now for, I think, 4 years now. Never broken a spindle, never had a problem with the spindle. But honestly, I'm telling you, if I was ever to not be sponsored, I could tell you 100% without a doubt, Zbroz would be where I was going to go. Just because of it's a smaller company, they take care of you, and their staff is amazing. So that's where I would go.
Much appreciated. No, that's awesome. Super excited. Again, Boondockers film coming out here pretty quickly. And what's your Instagram handle? I think you changed it.
Smasher14. I kept that, but on Facebook, I'm just Kris Kaltenbacher. But awesome. I use the Facebook just mostly for family.
Yeah, for sure. Well, go follow him. Check us out. Excited to see what happens this season. So,
yes, sir. Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.